Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Saglish, aka Sag. Today I'm bringing you some domination gameplay on Riot, and I jump in this match just a tiny bit late, but anyway, I am using the class setup of the week for week 5. If you guys want to check that out, make sure to check my channel and look into a couple of the videos. And it's a really good setup, but anyway, this is not what this is about. This is not a commentary. I kind of want to put this up near the time I put my vlog up for you guys. This is just talking about what happened toward the later couple of days that I didn't get into when when vacation at my parents' house. The first would be you guys see the bowling, and we had a great time with my friend who I haven't seen in a while, but weren't that great bowlers, as you guys can tell. I'm not going pro anytime soon. But this is what happens the day after that. We had planned on going out to dinner when my mom got off work, and going to like a steakhouse or something. And we get a call. We're sitting there. I'm watching a couple of the games of the NCAA tournament. My wife's grading papers and hanging out. And we get a call around lunchtime, and it's my mom talking to my dad and basically saying that she was involved in a car accident. And we weren't really sure at the time how bad it was. She said that it was pretty bad by looking at it, but my mom sometimes tends to exaggerate just a little bit. But that being said, anybody would exaggerate just a little bit after being hit. It's probably the shock of it happening to her that really kind of made her say what she did. But anyway, so we didn't really have anything to do, and we all wanted to make sure my mom was okay and make sure that everything was taken care of beforehand. So we decided to drive out, which it was only really like 15 minutes away, and we could see the cars on location. It's kind of obvious when two cars are just sitting out on the side. So I go in across the street to this little Spanish grocery store to park, and didn't realize how much of a hill it really was. So when I parked, I was parked at a pretty steep angle. I would have to say if it was looking down, it was probably at least a 30% grade. But anyway, so I put it park and put the emergency brake on just in case. And we get out of the car, walk across the street. Um, you know, um, First off, we made sure that everyone was okay. My mom, the person that hit her, and we started looking at the thing, and we asked what happened, and she just said, I just ran into the back of her. Luckily for them, it wasn't at too high of a rate of speed, and so my mom seemed okay. We were happy about that, but we looked at it. The back was pretty bad. Like, it wasn't like a wreck, but it was pretty bad. It was to the point where basically you couldn't lift the trunk of the car. The bumper was coming off, and there would just be um, some damages that would have to be taken care of. But it kind of scares anyone, no matter how little of a wreck it is. You never know what can happen. So we just wanted to make sure, and the cop comes by. It's a younger guy, and as he was coming by, he didn't have his deputy hat on, or whatever they call him. And he had to grab it real quick as he's passing by because he didn't want to be seen out of the car without it. And so he comes up, we're all making sure it's okay, and he's looking at us, and my wife and I and my dad just kind of back away, just telling that we weren't involved. We just wanted to make sure my mom was okay, and he got the statements and everything was going to be handled by that. But it just so happens to be our luck, we're trying to go out for a nice dinner, try to relax, and that day my mom gets hit. But that's it just so happens that not only I have bad luck, but my family has bad luck. The next part is the same day that we do go to the restaurant, the steakhouse restaurant. Um, we're sitting there, we're enjoying it. My wife and I get a dinner for two, and my parents get a dinner for two. And it just so happens my parents ordered the dessert, but it's big. They supposedly said it was going to be big enough for all four of us, so we ordered the appetizers and we all shared. Um, but towards the end of the night, it was starting to get funny because it just seems to me like no matter when I'm sitting there with my family, something always funny happens, especially when my wife's around. And my dad's we have to go boxes, and we're all putting our leftovers in them. And my dad just so happens to hit the table while putting his food away in the to go box, and he hits his funny bone, and he picks it up. And he's like, "Oh shoot! Oh, that hurts!" And I'm looking at him. I go, "You know what? You know why they call it the funny bone? It's because when you hit it, everyone else laughs at it, but it hurts like you know what." And my dad's laughing. We're all laughing because it just it's just funny how he did it, and it came out of nowhere. But we were talking about how you're older, your skin thins out, and you get blood blisters. And so, with that being said, my dad goes, "Oh, hey, well, talking about that, you want to see a blood blister?" And he's looking at my wife, and she's like, "Yeah, sure." So instead of doing it a normal way, my dad looks like he's flicking my wife off. He's got one on his inside of his middle of his finger, and he's showing her where it is, and he's got his hand in the air. So basically, he's flicking my wife off in the air, with it being like out in the open. And my wife starts laughing, and we all start laughing because it looks like he's flicking her off. And then my mom goes, "Where? Let me see." And so instead of turning his hand around after being shown what he's doing, he turns around and goes to the other side of the table and flicks her off. And so I'm sitting there laughing. He's like, "Well, you want to see?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." But after noticing, after showing my mom, my dad notices our waitress walking by and looking in our direction, giving him a funny look. Well, he's sitting there, and we're like, this looks like he's flicking us off. So she's probably telling management that we need to get out there because family's about to fight or whatever. And so my dad tells her that he's just jokingly with her, and he's like, "Look," he goes, "I wasn't flicking them off. I was just showing them a blood blister." And she's like, "Oh yeah, 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 sure. I know what you're doing." But I don't think she really believed him. But he's like, "No, here, look." And so he shows her the same exact way that he shows my wife, the same exact way that he shows my mom, and it looks like he's flicking her off. So I'm like, "Dad, come on, man." And but no, she looks at it and she starts laughing, and so that was a great time at dinner. Had me almost crying for how funny it was. The waitress seemed to have a good time. It was all good harm or no harm done. So that was pretty fun. And the day of Friday, the day before I left. All right, and so the last day on Friday that we were spending the night there, I invited my friend Corey over again to eat dinner with us. We were eating subs and playing cards and just talking. And my mom notices three trucks outside. Well, we didn't think anything of it until like an hour to an hour and a half after that, where it got dark and they were making a lot of noise, making a lot of movements. So we go out there, and only in South Carolina are three trucks going to stop on the side of the road, release their hound dogs out to the woods, and go on people's property that it don't belong on to go coon hunting, which is raccoon hunting. And they were in the woods making disturbance. Their truck door was open onto the road, so I wanted to make sure these guys didn't cause a wreck, didn't do anything. So I called the non-emergency number, and these guys took their sweet time getting out, but we got everything going. But I was sitting there thinking, I was like, anywhere else this would have been a huge problem, but basically they were just told to, pack everything up and go, and, when the guys come out, they need to leave or whatever. And it wasn't made into a big deal, but it just shows you the area that I live in, or that my parents live in, and that, just how relaxed it is. But with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed my vlog as well as this gameplay. I think I went 59-3. I did pretty well, which I'm not going to say it's not a bad thing. But guys, with this class setup, you got to do great things. But anyway, guys, I hope you're having a great day. Leave a like if you did, comment if you want, subscribe if you haven't. Also, check in the description below for the vlog, and I'll see you next time.